What up, guys? GangstaPranksta here, bringing you another weekly wrestling review for July 16th. I apologize for this being so late. I've kind of been slacking. But yeah, I'm here to bring you a weekly wrestling review. This week, I review Destination X, Raw, Smackdown, Impact, and give my predictions for Money in the Bank. So let's just get started. First, we had Destination X. It was actually a good pay-per-view, for it being just an all X Division pay-per-view. To be honest, it didn't really get the push I think it deserved. I mean, they had a couple promo packages, but other than that, they didn't have half the stars on Impact half the time. So that kind of sucked. But the pay-per-view was really good. As much as I hate to say it, TNA doesn't do it often. Usually they do some really shitty stuff on their pay-per-views, but this one was really good. And let's just go through it. First, it started out with Samoa Joe versus Kazarian. It was a good match. Kazarian won. Would have liked to seen Joe win, but it's Destination X, feel good pay-per-view. Let's let all the baby faces win. Next, we have Doug Williams versus Mark Haskins. This was an open challenge. And Mark Haskins accepted it. He's from the UK. He actually had a pretty good showing, He slipped on the ropes once, and I think that's just nerves, him performing on pay-per-view in the United States, so that's fine. They had a good match, and Doug Williams was a won. Next was Generation Me versus Eric Young and Shark Boy. I don't know if it's good to see Shark Boy back in TNA, but they had a backstage segment with Suicide, Curryman, and Sangriento, and Eric Young was looking for a partner. They're all like, nah, we're injured, we're going to Japan, whatever. Shark Boy comes in, he's his partner. They had a good match, and Shark Boy and Eric Young win. Next is Robbie E. and Shannon Moore, or Robbie E. versus Shannon Moore versus Amazing Red versus Alex Shelley in an Ultimate X match. Good match. It was good. It seemed extremely short. I don't even think it went 10 minutes. It was a really short match. But Alex Shelley won. He's the new X Division #1 contender. That's cool. And I think Chris Sabin celebrated with him after. Next was RVD versus Jerry Lynn. This was actually a really good match. Jerry can still go. They showed signs of their matches from ECW, and they countered each other quite a bit. So that was cool to see. They had a good match, and RVD won. Next is Zema Ion versus Low Key versus Jack Evans versus Austin Aries. This was just a great match. This was fun to watch. It was fast-paced. It was what an X Division match needed to be. All these guys, they got their stuff in. You got the 630 splash from Jack Evans. Low-key did the double foot stomp thing, and he kicked the shit out of some people. Awesome to see. At the end, Austin Aries wins. And, I'm excited to see what Austin Aries does in TNA. This is his third run, so hopefully TNA can capitalize, because Austin Aries is such a great talent. He's good on the mic. He's a great heel. He's great in the ring. He's just amazing. He's awesome. He's definitely a potential top guy in that company if they use him right. Next was Abyss versus Brian Kendrick. It was pretty good. I'll probably say this was the worst match of the night. I don't know, Abyss in there. I don't really like Abyss. And Brian Kendrick did some good stuff. The end comes when the ref gets knocked out. Bischoff comes out. Kendrick punches him in the face. Bischoff comes out. Kendrick punches him in the face. Immortal comes out, beats up Kendrick. And then a bunch of X Division guys come out. There's a huge fucking brawl. And somewhere in there, Kendrick pins Abyss to become the new X Division champion. That's cool to see. This was kind of predictable, because you're going to have an all X Division pay-per-view. And if Kendrick didn't win, that would just be fucking stupid. So, yeah. And last but not least, AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels. Really good match. It was a really slow-paced match. I think it was good, considering there was a lot of fast-paced matches. They had a good wrestling match, told a story, and it was just really good. AJ wins, and yeah, really good pay-per-view. I recommend it if you're a TNA fan. Definitely a pay-per-view you want to watch. Next, we have Raw. CM Punk comes out, makes his return after being suspended, fired. I don't remember which one. He comes out with a megaphone. He talks about being suspended for speaking his mind. He says he brought the megaphone in case they turn off the mic again. That was hilarious. Just because I love Punk. You know, whenever he gets on the mic, it's gold. And the past few weeks, WWE has capitalized that. It sucks that it finally took him leaving the company for him to get a big push, for him to be on the mic. And yeah, I remember his feud with Rey Mysterio where he sang his daughter happy birthday, and that was just creepy as shit. And yeah, so Punk's awesome, and sorry for that. Yeah. So he says he's finally getting everything he wants, but it's 5 years too late. He keeps talking, then Cena comes out. Punk says when he beats Cena, he's going to change how the title looks. That was funny, because that title is a piece of shit. It looks so retarded. It's been like that for 5 years. Oh, come the fuck on. So Cena says his little speech, you know, he's a good guy, and since it might be Cena's last Raw. Oh, the GM sends an email and says Vince McMahon will be here tonight, and since it might be Cena's last Raw, he should have a match. So it's Cena versus McGillicuddy and Otunga. Pretty good. Cena wins. Next we have Kelly versus Melina. Okay match. After the match, the Bellas come out and say Kelly's too skinny and wears a lot of makeup. Kelly attacks the Bellas, and then Eve makes a save, but the Bellas just run rampant on them. Next, all the guys from the Money in the Bank on Raw, they come out, they talk about how they're gonna win. GM sends an email, and he makes a match. Alex Riley, Evan Bourne, and Kofi Kingston versus Miz, Swagger, and R-Truth. This was a good match. Alex Riley, Evan Bourne, and Kofi Kingston win. After the match, Miz takes out Riley, Kofi takes out Miz, Truth takes out Kofi, Bourne takes out Truth, Del Rio takes out Bourne, and then takes out everyone else in the ring with a ladder. Long segment. Next we have Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler versus Big Show. This wasn't really a match. This was just Big Show beating the shit out of Drew McIntyre. It really did look like he was beating the shit out of Drew McIntyre. I don't know who this guy pissed off. He literally just got this shit beat out of him the whole match. I don't think Dolph Ziggler did anything. I don't even think he took a punch, a bump, anything. So Drew and Big Show, I think they get counted out. I don't really know what happened. Big Show takes Drew McIntyre to the stage, starts beating him up. Big Show's about to chokeslam McIntyre off the stage. Mark Henry comes out, tackles Big Show off the stage. They land safely on like a little, setup on the floor, but Drew McIntyre, he gets knocked off to the side of the stage. He literally fell off the stage. Like, he had no safety pads or anything. He fell on concrete. Hopefully he's okay. But yeah, when I watched, I was like, oh shit. So yeah, hope Drew McIntyre's okay. Next, final segment. Vince McMahon comes out to have a contract negotiation segment with CM Punk. Punk comes out. Vince says that the contract has everything Punk wants. Punk says he has a new contract, and with more stuff like a private jet, more marketing, ice cream bars, a movie. He's going to wrestle in the main event of WrestleMania. Punk then says Vince needs to apologize to him and the fans. Says the anti-bullying campaign is hypocritical. Punk talks about friends that were fired. He mentions Colt Cabana, Luke Gallows. Vince says, I don't care what you want. Punk interrupts him, blah, blah, blah. They go back and forth a little bit more. And then Cena comes out. Cena says something to or Punk says something to Cena. Cena punches Punk, and then Punk rips up the contract and just walks out. And McMahon is just there standing with a puzzled look on his face. So that was Raw. It was actually pretty good. The beginning segment with CM Punk, awesome. The end segment was awesome. Only problem I have with them, John Cena ruined both. But the interaction between CM Punk and Vince McMahon at the end, it was kind of reminiscent to some Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon stuff. So hopefully Punk re-signs, maybe, I don't know. But I'd love to see him and Vince, do an angle or something. So TNA Impact is next. It starts out with Immortal. They come out in suits and tell Anderson to come out for his party. He comes out and Hogan congratulates Anderson on joining Immortal. Sting comes out and says tonight's the beginning of the end for Immortal. They talk some more, then clowns appear in the rafters. Sting tosses a poker table, whatever. This segment was pretty boring. First match, we got Samoa Joe, Robert Roode, and D'Angelo Dinero in a triple threat. It was a good match, and Robert Roode wins. Next is Shannon Moore versus Austin Aries. It was a pretty good match. Austin Aries wins. After the match, Alex Shelley comes out and confronts Aries. Tara versus Madison Rayne. It was pretty good. It was okay. Yeah, Tara wins after Tara chases Madison with a spider, some shit like that. Kurt Angle comes out and says he's the number one contender for the world title. He says Anderson and him have history, and he also wants Sting because he never beat him before. Mexican America versus British Invasion. This was a good match. Mexican America wins. Now they're the new number one contenders for the tag team titles. That's cool. The main event. Oh, so during the night, there was guys dressed up in clown masks taking out people from Immortal. Turns out to be Fortune. And during the main event, Sting and Mr. Anderson. It was a good match. And the end comes when the referee gets knocked out. Bully Ray comes out, attacks Sting, and a guy with a clown mask comes out, takes out Bully Ray, and distracts Anderson, following Sting to hit his finisher. And I think I fucked that up. So a clown distracts Anderson. Sting hits his finisher on Anderson, pins him. He's a new world champion. It ends up that the clown unmasks. It's Kurt Angle. Impact was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. The only problem I have is Anderson losing the title after 1 month. I don't really like that because they built up the storyline. Anderson, he's getting screwed out of this a title shot. He's never gonna get one, and then he just loses it on an Impact. So it's kind of meaningless. Sting gets another world title run. He doesn't need one. He's 52 years old or around there. It's just like, why? Whatever. Next we have SmackDown. It starts out with Josh Matthews in the ring to interview Randy Orton. He comes out. Josh says if Orton gets DQ'd, that he will lose, that Christian's the new champion. Orton says it won't happen. Christian appears on the Titantron. He talks about Sunday and says Orton's father is pathetic and for faking an injury for 7 years. Orton says the only one that's pathetic was Christian being world champion for 5 days. And yeah, that segment's, yeah. Next we have Ezekiel Jackson versus Ted DiBiase. It was pretty good. Ezekiel wins. Daniel Bryan versus Cody Rhodes. Pretty good. Cody wins. Sheamus versus Sin Cara. Good match. Sin Cara wins. After the match, Wade Barrett attacks Sheamus. Teddy Long comes up and says Big Show and Mark Henry are going to have a face-off. Both of them come out. They have words with each other. They're about to fight. And Teddy Long stops it and says they will fight at Money in the Bank. Next, we have Rosa Mendez versus Kelly Kelly. Okay match. Kelly Kelly wins. Next, we have Justin Gabriel versus Heath Slater. Before the match started, Heath Slater cut a heel promo saying that like he carried Justin Gabriel in their tag team. So I guess their tag team's done, and they're gonna have an individual, like, separate single careers. So that could be interesting. It was a pretty good match. Justin Gabriel wins, and Randy Orton versus Kane was going pretty good, and Kane wins when Orton gets counted out because Christian distracted him. After the match, Kane, Orton, and Christian have a brawl. So SmackDown was pretty good as well. So let me get my predictions for Money in the Bank. This pay-per-view actually looks good. There's a lot of hype going into it, especially with the CM Punk John Cena thing. I'm actually excited, to watch this pay-per-view. And, yeah, let's just go through it. First off, we have Big Show versus Mark Henry. For the past few weeks, Mark Henry has been getting the best of Big Show. He's been on a hot streak as of late. Big Show is coming off a shitty feud with Alberto Del Rio. I'm gonna have to say Mark Henry. He's on a roll, and yeah, let's continue that. Maybe get him a world title shot. That might be blasphemy, but whatever. Next, we have Kelly Kelly versus Brie Bella for the Divas title. This should be whatever. I think Kelly Kelly's gonna retain. Probably going to have interference from the other Bella, and then Eve's probably going to make the save. And yeah. So first, SmackDown Money in the Bank. We got Justin Gabriel, Sheamus, Wade Barrett, Sin Cara, Heath Slater, Kane, Daniel Bryan, and Cody Rhodes. Okay. So let's just eliminate people who I don't think are going to win. I don't think Kane's going to win. Okay. I wish Daniel Bryan would win. That'd be cool as shit. I wish Justin Gabriel will win. Let's push some new talent. Maybe give Justin Gabriel a win. Maybe give Daniel Bryan a win. Maybe reestablish Wade Barrett and Sheamus as heels. Give them the Money in the Bank. I don't think Kane's gonna win. I don't think Sin Cara's gonna win. I don't think Heath Slater's gonna win. Cody could be interesting. Maybe he's going to get a world title shot. Maybe he goes to the main event stuff. Fuck. You know what? I think Wade Barrett needs it. I think Wade Barrett has just fallen so far down the wayside with the Nexus thing and the core and his feud with Ezekiel Jackson. I think Wade Barrett needs this. I'd like to see Wade Barrett win. Sorry about that. Next, we have the Raw Money in the Bank. We got Alberto Del Rio, Jack Swagger, Rey Mysterio, Evan Bourne, Kofi Kingston, The Miz, Alex Riley, and R-Truth. Okay, before I get started, I don't really like Alberto Del Rio in this match. He's already a #1 contender. He won it a couple weeks ago on Raw. So, I would like Dolph Ziggler in this match. And, yeah. So, Del Rio already has a #1 contenders match. So why does he need the Money in the Bank, So it's kind of dumb that he's still in this. So I would like to see Dolph Ziggler, but he's not going to get put in this. I don't think Mysterio is going to win. I don't think R-Truth is going to win. I don't think Swagger is going to win. My money's on Alberto Del Rio or Kofi Kingston. Yeah, Kofi for a while, a couple years back, he had a good run with, he was getting a push and stuff, and then it stopped. I'd like to see him get another push. So maybe that can happen, but I think Alberto Del Rio is going to win, and he's going to get 2 #1 contenders matches, title shots, whatever. Because it's his destiny, So, yeah, whatever. Next, we have a world title match. Randy Orton versus Christian. Randy Orton's going to win. I don't see Christian. I kind of see them moving from this feud after. And maybe we can have Wade Barrett cash it in on Randy Orton after he wins. So, Christian kind of feels like he gets screwed or some shit. Maybe Christian can win, and then Wade Barrett cashes it on him. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I got screwed or some shit. I wasn't prepared. All the excuses in the book, blah, blah, blah. Maybe. Something like that. I don't know. Next, the match everyone, is talking about, John Cena versus CM Punk. Let's talk about all the variables. Let's talk about different stuff they could do. I see a screw job, potential screw job, on CM Punk to like have John Cena win. Vince McMahon screws CM Punk, so he doesn't leave with the WWE title. Keeps Cena. Maybe he turns Cena heel. Maybe Cena feuds with Kofi Kingston. That potential. Maybe Vince screws Cena because he wants to keep Punk, but then Punk leaves. Something like that. I'm gonna have to say John Cena. Although WWE might do like a swerve or some shit, I think Cena's gonna win. And that sucks. I wish CM Punk would stay and win, but we can't all get what we want. All right, so let's quickly run down the news. We got TNA has released Generation Me and Orlando Jordan. Let me break this down. First, we have Orlando Jordan. When he first came in with Hulk Hogan and company, it seemed like he was going to have a feud with D'Angelo Dinero. I don't think they ever did have a feud. I didn't mind Orlando Jordan in the beginning, Let's see what this guy's going to do. Because he wasn't really using WWE to his full potential. And then after they started doing like the bisexual thing, the talk show, I was just like, holy fuck, get this guy off TV. I don't want to see this guy. I'm not like homophobic or anything. It's just I don't think it has a place in wrestling to do this kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of glad they released him. It was a year and a half, he was there for about a year and a half. They should have released him a year ago, But yeah. So I'm kind of glad. What I'm not glad about is the release of Generation Me. These guys are some talented dudes. TNA wasted them, whenever they have an X Division match. Oh, let's throw Generation Me in there. They weren't really used as like a tag team. I don't really think they ever had a match with Beer Money. Although that would be awesome. I could see it right now on a pay-per-view. Mexican America, British Invasion, Inc., and Generation Me. Number 1 contenders match. Bam. I think that would be a great match. But I guess TNA doesn't see money in them. That sucks. They mostly feuded with the Machine Guns. And they had some great matches and stuff. They're going to be missed. I see them going to Ring of Honor, wrestling a lot there, especially since Ring of Honor is getting a TV deal soon in September or August. Look forward to seeing the young, I guess I can call them the Young Bucks now, since TNA called them Generation Me. But originally they are the Young Bucks. And yeah, TNA has signed Kid Cash. When I heard this, I cringed because he made his return on Impact a couple of weeks ago, for the X Division Invitational thing, and I'm like, oh, it's cool to see Kid Cash, but I don't want to see him on a regular basis. Why would you sign Kid Cash when you still have Low Key, Jack Evans, Zema Ion, guys? During that match, the fans were chanting, "Sign them all, sign them all." I'm sorry, I'm really stuffed up right now. I think I'm getting sick. And the fans were chanting, sign them all, and chanting stuff like, everybody. Like, that's when the fans really want to see them. But you sign a guy like Kid Cash, who I think he's 41 years old. When you have guys like Low Key and Zema Ion and Jack Evans, maybe late 20s and still have a ton of potential. But you sign a guy like Kid Cash, and this is no hate towards Kid Cash, but he's just an older individual, and I don't really think he can contribute a lot to TNA, and as to where you have a Low Key who can bring phenomenal X Division matches, go up to the heavyweight division, and do all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm just that's kind of stupid. TNA signed him, but whatever. TNA does this kind of shit all the time. So I'm gonna end it right here. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next week where I review Money in the Bank, Raw, Smackdown, Impact, and give you your weekly wrestling news. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Peace out, guys.